What on earth has a photograph got to do with our self-esteem? Well, let's go on and find out. Very recently, I had reason to go back to my family home, and I have not been there for a couple of decades. And yet, when I plucked out this photograph, and I'm purposely showing this, even though this is exceptionally cringy for me to do, because it's kind of worth it for the messages that are getting across. I found this photograph, yes, it's me, in amongst a whole bunch of possessions. And when I looked at this young girl, this young me, I was overcome with a sense of nurturing and compassion and identifying with, oh my goodness, I absolutely want to do the best for you. And I'm now responsible for that. And it got me thinking in terms of a lot of my clients that I work with, in terms of our self-esteem and how it is that we talk to ourselves. So basically the relationship we have with ourselves. And if we think about it this way, if we were the adult that was with this young us 24/7, we were with them through everything, how would we be wanting to talk to them? What would we be wanting them to remind them about what's possible, about their place on this earth, about what they are deserving of? How would we be wanting to speak to them, and how would we be relating to them? Now, I'd imagine for most of us, when we see a young kid, we're like, well, yes, of course, in a really positive way. So it's useful to think, well, for some of us, what happened? Because if we think on a daily basis, how it is that we're talking to ourselves, where it is that we're directing our attention, how much it may be that we are causing ourselves to worry, is that in line with how we would be with her, him, you? For a lot of us, it's not. So I implore you to go and find a young photograph of yourself, perhaps ideally one that you haven't seen for many years. Pull it out, fresh eyes, and I want you to reconnect with that you. And imagine if you were to make a new commitment to that young you in terms of what kind of relationship you're going to have. It's like you've got a duty to that young you to be able to fulfill. Imagine this, imagine if you went back in time and you had to face the young you and you said, you know what I commit to is talking to you in a negative way, making you feel really bad about yourself, causing you unduly worry, not letting you live up to your potential. Kind of sucks, right? But inadvertently, like I've said, we kind of sometimes end up doing that. So fresh eyes, what relationship do you want to have with you? She, he is you, still part of you. So this is about how you talk to yourself on a daily basis. We all worry, of course, and it's there to protect us, and it's there to make sure that we don't really overstep the mark and jump into something that's exceptionally fearful. But if we just keep negging ourselves out by worrying unduly, then all we're doing is limiting ourselves. When we're talking to ourselves in a way or relating to ourselves on a daily basis that tells us what we're not, points out what it is that we can't do, doesn't ever go looking for in all the ways that actually we deserve to be here and that we're worthy. I'm kind of talking the extreme versions here, but we all, I'm sure, have had moments where we've done this. So my message for you, absolute passion point of mine, is think again about what relationship you want to have with yourself. Get out a young you and make a new commitment to yourself. It's easier than you think if you just think of it as a relationship that you're going to have with yourself. How do you want that to be? How do you want to start talking to yourself on a daily basis? What do you want to start pointing out to yourself that perhaps you haven't been doing for a long time? In what ways can you have your own back and start paying more attention to what you know, what you think, what's right for you, why it's important to you, the value that you place out there in the world, because you do. You will be exceptionally important to a whole bunch of people and you will be offering value. So please give that some thought, and more importantly than that, go out there and take action. Redesign that relationship with you. And the stuff, if there's a little bit of a yes but, or it's not that easy coming up for some of you, then some of the stuff that I've skimmed past here, I will promise you, I make that commitment to you, that I'll address in future videos. But for now, go and find a little self-compassion towards yourself. Go and look at the younger you and think, I want to look after you, I want to have your own back. I've got a duty to actually give you the life that you deserve when you were young. And if I can make that commitment to you again now, how would you want to start relating to yourself? I hope it's been useful, and I'll see you soon.